We need more clutter items in Bloxburg. Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, so in today's video I would like to talk about why we need more clutter items in Bloxburg. Now this is not a video to hate on Bloxburg or to give bad points on Bloxburg or something like that. I still love the game, but I feel like we need a little bit more clutter items, and I'm sure they will come over time. So going into build mode and going into the decorations tab, there is definitely a lot that you can place right now. But is it enough? Not in my opinion. So let's categorize it first. We have the placemats you can put on the table. We have soaps, we have books, we have a lot of books actually. And then we have the frames, which they already added a lot of, which I'm happy about. However, I wish you could resize them. And then they added the sunburst mirror, which definitely helps add more to the mirrors. And then of course we have some plants. And let's start with the plants, because that's like, I feel like we need way more plants than that. So we do have a bunch of plants. However, if you place them all right next to each other, or most of them, you can see that it is the same plant over and over again, just in a different pot. And even when you go into gardening, oh my god, I hate this menu like that. It's still the same plant over and over and over, and it's just copied into different pots. I feel like we need different types of plants, different pots. You can choose what plant goes into what pot, stuff like that. I definitely want some more tropical plants, so for example, a monstera or an alocasia. Just different types of plants that we can add into Bloxburg, because right now it's just the same plant over and over. I'm kind of done seeing it, and it's really hard to like add some nice plants to your house if you always have to add the same plant over and over. And of course we do have a lot of stuff that you can't really place around the house like in every room. For example, the perfume bottles are nice in bedrooms and bathrooms, but I wouldn't place them outside of them. We have the fruit bowls that has been with us from the beginning. But then there's like a bunch of items like House of Cards, and just like the reindeer is really cool. And I like the llamas as well. But like big plants we definitely need more of. We maybe need a little bit more candles as well, but those are in lighting. I like the post-it notes. That was a good addition. However, we need more stuff to place on the ground. So we had the household update, and that was a really good update. However, for the laundry, washer, and dryer, I wish we just had some clothes you can place on the ground. Right now, what we have to do is we have to go into garden, take not the big dirt pile, take a small dirt pile, paint it in like cloth, and just use that as like clothes that are on the ground, stuff like that. But it isn't really clothes. You can't really do much with it. So I wish I had some like loose clothes to place on the ground. Also in carpets, we definitely do not have enough carpet. So I wish like the simple round carpet. In The Sims 4, if you place carpets, you can resize them. I wish we were able to resize our carpets as well, or even have more designs. Like I want some, oh my god, how amazing. Why did I only just think of that? But how amazing would it be if we could add decals into our carpets, so that we can have like our own materials in our carpets. That would be so cool. Then going back to household, we have the cleaning equipment. However, I wish in the future that we would also get, why is it always dark though? But I wish in the future that we would also get vacuum cleaners, and that dust would actually appear on the ground so that this would have a use. Right now what you can do is you can pick it up and you can use it to mop anywhere you like. However, I would love to have a feature where you can have dirt appear in your house and you have to clean it up with like a brush or just like a sweeper. You have to use stuff like that, and I just wish there was more like that. Or you could spill your drink and then you had to clean it up. Or when you have a baby and they sit in the baby chair and there's food all over the place, that would be so much fun to like have to clean that up. I know saying that it's fun to clean baby dirt off the ground is weird. However, it would be a nice addition for role plays and stuff like that, and if you were a baby you could just throw your food on the ground. I think that would be really fun to see in role plays. Then continuing into electronics, we have some nice TVs, I must say. However, we have this TV, and then we go straight on to that TV. I feel like we need something in the middle of that, or at least like a different size TV, because this little bowl or circle at the bottom is really hard and makes it really hard to place a tiny TV anywhere. The smallest wall TV that we have is quite big as well. Going here, and then you have to pick the $2,200 AccuSlim TV. I wish we had something smaller for that as well. And then there's a lot of the clutter, quote-unquote, items that aren't usable. For example, the air conditioner. I wish we actually had a heating and cooling system. I also wish there were radiators in the game that you could place against the wall. What I do now, and I explained it in probably like 25 videos before, but what I do now is I go into build, I use stairs, and then I use the standard ladder, and I just like paint it white so that it kind of looks like a heating element. And I usually do that in bathrooms. And then going into decorations, I use a towel, and I just place like towels inside it so so it looks like towels are drying on the heating element right here. But yeah, I wish we had some system like that where if in winter you had to like heat your house and then in summer you had to cool your house down with the air conditioning and you could get sick from the air conditioning and stuff like that. I think that would be like a fun addition to roleplays and to builds. Because if you are a builder, you would have to think about like adding that element into your builds, because otherwise your house will kind of be useless. And for roleplays as well, like if you have a baby room, you need to heat it to that temperature and stuff like that. But of course that would be a lot of work to implement, so I completely understand why that isn't in the game yet. However, I would like to go with the seasons. Now I must say they are doing quite a lot of effort to add clutter into the game. So the coffee tables, for example, well, that's not really clutter, that falls under furniture, but it's important to have different varieties of it, and they definitely are doing a lot of work to add a lot of variety. Like we have a lot more curtains now, and the structural items that we have right now offer a lot of variety as well. Add more clutter yourself or create more clutter. For example, what I really like with the structural items is adding like a leaf part that goes up. I'm not gonna do it too amazing right now, but I think you get what I mean. Like if you have this and you paint it into the grass material, I kind of like being able to build your own little hanging plants or just like plants that grow up walls and stuff like that. I feel like that adds a lot of definition, so that's a good way to add clutter to your game. But I think my biggest issue with the clutter is like more stuff to place on the ground, like dirt or something that appears like dirt, like more stuff to place on the ground, like clothes with washing machines, and then dirt that appears out of nowhere that you have to clean up, vacuum cleaners, just more general stuff like soap that could go empty. So right now the soap that we have in the game is just like a stuck bottle. It doesn't go empty. You can use as much soap as you want. Well, you can't really use the soap. If you could use it, you could use as much as you want. I wish it went like empty and then you had to restock it, stuff like that. That would be really cool. But yeah, I just feel like we need a bit more clutter items. Definitely plants and a lot more of these decorations. Maybe some bigger statues that you can place on the ground. So these are all made to go into closets. It would be nice to have more stuff that we could just place on the ground, like the umbrella stand. Because right now all we have to like randomly place on the ground that isn't lights or plants is this telescope, the umbrella pot, what? The umbrella stand. But other than that, there's not much decoration that you can just place around, you know? So if you don't want to place plants, you don't want to place lights, this is kind of all we get now, and that's kind of disappointing, isn't it? Now I kind of like this painting stand as well, that they have an empty one and then a one with a frame in it, because the one with the frame in it you can actually use to get your painting skill up, so that's a double use. And I want more items like this that you could just place on the ground without having to place plants, even though we need more types of plants, but without having to place plants or lights everywhere. This is a fun addition, so we don't have a lot of this. And then maybe, but that's really hard as well, like aquariums where you can add fish in, and maybe a hamster cage, and yeah, just like a small animal. I don't think that's too hard to implement, like a small animal. It doesn't have to be like a cat that follows you everywhere, stuff like that. Just like hamsters and fish and what else do we have? Rats, chinchillas, maybe that's a little bit too much. But yeah, I just would like some small animals and stuff like that. But they are doing a lot of work to make that better. They are doing effort to add more clutter. However, I wish we had more freestanding items and also more types of plants. That's like my biggest issue. Now, let me know what you would like to see clutter-wise in the game. Would you like to have dust appear, or would you not like to have dust appear and just keep it clean as is? Do you want babies to throw their food on the ground, or are babies annoying already and do you not want them to do anything? Let me know in the comments below. That was it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button and please subscribe.